it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here with the augmented cast of 3 Up, 3 Down. Mr. Pena back in front of the camera. He's moved out from behind it. He's turning into a real star both on the field and in front of the camera. I'm sorry, Mr. Brian
Pena.
Don't call me Pena. It's Pena, I've learned this evening.
Pen, like a pen.
It only took 2 months to get that correct.
About 4 to 5 months, really, but, you know.
Is that how long we've been doing this thing?
I'm good, guys.
I swear we're friends.
It's alright.
Then Mr. Matt Slobodan Milosevic Welbraka Von.
I already opened mine. I was way ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, that was for you, man.
Thank you.
Count Von Welbrock
Whatever.
coming to you from Greece, the land trying to bring down the entire world economy.
1 euro at a time.
And now he works for the biggest bank in America, so, you know.
I feel safe at night.
No.
I know my money's safe, right?
Well, you know, I'll remain a little more skeptical as long as Brent Wentworth and you are running that shit over at the Bank of America.
Brent gets you in homes, and I make it so you can't pay for your homes. I don't know.
It's a perfect system.
Yeah.
So anyway, about kickball, which is I guess what we're here to talk about.
That's right.
We had week 1 of the first ever Virginia Patriot Summer Draft League. Exciting, heady times out there at the York County Sports Complex.
Mm-hmm.
Great times. I don't know. I had a good time. I always have a good time with this league.
It was great, just having all the players kind of mixed together. It was fun to go out there, and you look at some of your friends and some of your teammates that have been with you for, 3, 4, 5 seasons, and all of a sudden you see them suiting up in different colors. You're kind of like, all right, I see how it is, but...
I saw a lot of comments with confusion for the midnight photo,
Who do I sit with?
You can't find yourself.
Yeah, who do I sit with? Like,
I personally am enjoying wearing the red.
we'll save that for the lightning round, but I felt pretty damn good in it as well.
Oh, well, now you have a red and blue in your closet.
Yeah.
I can let you borrow white every now and then, and damn, you look good.
Not this summer.
Yeah, maybe some other time.
So we played some games out there too, apparently. It started off 7 p.m., which I know, living on the south side, thank you. Well, I'm praying to Keith Morehart when I do that. For the late start time, I know several others of us are as well, yes.
That's
A
a
tip of the hat to Keith and a wag of the finger to Brent for just being Brent. Mean Green Machine, first game of a doubleheader for them. They faced off with the Summer School Kicks. It was a 3-1 win for the Mean Greens, who of course captained by Mr. Dominique Smith and George. Yeah, George.
The Greek freak.
The great,
One of your people.
Good people right there.
And then Summer School Kicks led by Busta and Cregan.
So I need to should go my Brent Wentworth impression right here.
Please. Thank you.
So this is a good game to watch. I actually talked to George after the podcast and asked him a couple of questions about the game, and he said, they really came together, and that's the way they drafted that team. But I don't know.
I'm doing my own Brent Wentworth over here.
Yeah, we're going to throw a disclaimer out. This is a really tough time because we don't have the rosters. So these are all new teams with all new people.
I'm pulling up scores as we speak right now.
We're pulling up scores. We got the scores. Mean Green Machine 3-1 over Summer School Kicks. And, I really don't know because, I'm playing other games here and stuff's going on. And I wish I could add some concrete evidence to how this game was won. But just, I'm kind of up in the air. We can make some stuff up.
I was going to go to that.
Yeah.
First fact I did here, which I guess isn't really fact, it's secondhand, possibly opinion. Mr. Adam Henry holding it down at first for the Mean Green Machine. Heard he was scooping everything in sight. Let's go with something here. That's going to be covered later. I'm going to go with Justin Schaaf had a big game.
Yeah.
Justin Schaaf, you win this week. I'm choosing you as the standout player for Mean Green Machine. Great job, buddy.
I think it's all attributed to his green headband that he's wearing. I love people in headbands. I'm glad to see him sporting that matching attire for the headgear.
It's a good look. I wish I could wear one at work.
Mm-hmm.
And the note...
Hell yeah, man. That'd be sweet.
I do wear headbands to work, so, you guys are in the wrong field. Got a couple solid veterans and then 2 rookies. We'll get around to talking about some of the new players later. But Derek and Michael on that team, I heard also stepped in, and just fluidly fit into the game, which we like to see, and hopefully they'll be around for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It was a close game, and I'm seeing a lot of these scores here, for the most part, with a lot of the Waka players that are mixed up right now. Aside from the new teams, the scores are going to be close, so don't be surprised when that's kind of the running theme going along here with the podcast. But yeah, close score. I do know that this first game here pitted George against Lorraine, Lojo, the first couple. So looking at the score, it doesn't look like George gave no quarter, shall I say,
No.
to summer school.
None at all, man. When it's kickball, it's a totally different animal.
Absolutely.
What happens at the home happens at the home, but what happens on the field stays on the field. So I'm glad to see that George had that cannon of an arm to contribute to only holding summer school kicks to 1 run.
Some nice tan lines on that arm too, if you saw any of Minnie Sutton's pictures.
Oh yeah, and that beard too. He has that beard going now. That summer beard. He doesn't have to be at school for 3 months, so he's letting it grow out. He's looking fucking damn sexy, I will tell you that.
The Greek freak.
Big sexy. Anyway, moving on to a game that these 2 played in. I was lucky enough to umpire judiciously at first, I must say.
You did a good job.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. The Ivan Dragos, of course, faced Manny and Crystal's Crushing on You. It was a 4-3 win, a game y'all capitalized on, if I may offer my short summary here.
Please do.
All right.
Capitalized on some, I won't say mistakes, he had some well-placed balls in the outfield. Jumped out to that 4-1 lead. Crushing on You came back, made it really interesting there in the 5th. Scored a couple runs and still had some ducks on the pond when it was finished off, but the Dragos hanging on for a 4-3 win. Gentlemen, please.
Elaborate, you go ahead, Wilbrock.
All right, yeah, this is what we've been talking about. Showing up with the Iron Curtain. So this was a statement game, especially with a team coached by Manny. You got to watch out for them. And like George said, it was we got up to a 4-1 lead, and everybody was a part. The chemistry there was on point. I feel like I've been playing with you guys for seasons upon seasons. Everybody was on the same page. But towards the end, I know JP had a couple of kicks to outfield, and we were kind of picking and choosing where we wanted to kick the ball based on where they had the players positioned. But in that top of the 5th, Katie Lytle came up and hit that line drive between first and second base. And got
that was a fine looking line drive.
Yeah, it was, man. But I was pissed. I was because I was like, oh man, dude, she's gonna take this game over, and I'm not gonna hear the end of this. But
was that off of you or was that off Jesse?
I was off Jesse. I was in the outfield.
Right,
Total disclaimer. When I was pitching, she was out. So,
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? But no, it got really close at the end, and it was a 3-4 game. And I think Manny's going to take this game. I heard nothing but positive things about him. Just you got to keep the positivity in here because everybody's a brand new team. So I think he's going to take this. First week he's going to take this loss not as a downer, but as just a way of improvement. He's going to make some adjustments, tweak some things around. I really think Crushing on You is going to come out strong in week 2.
Well, just like you said, it is the first week, and we the Dragos, we saw what we needed to improve on. We started that game off. Originally, we wanted Joe in there as a Charger, but he had a kickball tournament, or not a kickball, but a soccer tournament going on. So he ended up coming in there late. So we got to really give out some credit to our utility player, Jeff Pauley. held it down strong at Charger, made some great plays going over to first. We really did a great job communicating in the field. We had a couple blunders, but like I said, this is the first week, and everyone's gonna, start communicating, and teams are gonna start gelling after this first week. Hopefully, ours comes together a little quicker, but that's something to be taken into consideration this first week.
It would appear you're coming together quick enough, as we'll get to the second half of your doubleheader later.
Gotcha.
2 shout-outs real quick before we move on. David Merritt's for an outstanding catch in the outfield because I targeted him, seeing if he was going to catch my pop-up. And he did. And PJ as well on Ivan Drago's solid game offensive and defensively. Just catching everything, throwing to him, and getting the runners in.
Absolutely.
So then finishing off the 7 o'clock hour, the newcomers on Flock of Flame had the Wrecking Balls, who came through like a wrecking ball with 15 runs, held the Flock of Flame scoreless. I'm going to go ahead, since we didn't catch this one either, and say my summer crush, Troy Southall, led the way somehow. I don't know. He looked good doing it, I'm sure.
When you got like Troy and Wes and everybody on that team,
Nicky, Phil. I mean, they've got lots of good players for sure.
And to go up against Flock of Flame in week 1 was kind of like a preseason game for Wrecking Balls, but kind of like a wake up call to Flocka. And Wrecking Balls, when I was talking to people before this season started, I was asking a lot, who do you think is going to be the best team in this league? Who do you think really stands out? And a lot of people were actually talking about Wrecking Balls being the team to beat in this Patriot League. And this first game, made a big statement on that they're that team to carry this torch in the first Patriot League. But I had a chance to talk to Andy and Tim from Flock of Flame at the Cactus.
Oh, cool. I didn't meet any of those guys yet.
Yeah, and asked them, I was like, I just came on and introduced myself, and, they were saying, it's 15-0, and, yada, yada, yada. I was like, man, I was like, these things happen. There were games.
Good to finally be able to do that. Go ahead.
Yeah, there was a game 3 years ago. I think we lost 20-0. I mean, we got mercy ruled and everything when we started off Rumspringa. So, you kind of take your licks right now, but your guys are going to gel more and more as the season goes along. You're going to pick up on things every game. Don't let this get you down. They seem like really cool guys and are still upbeat. So, this team is projected to be one of the number 1 teams. So, 0-15. Just take it as a learning experience and just come out ready to wreck shop in week 2.
Absolutely. Like, the only thing I can take away from that, as far as like, I left a comment on the Facebook page when you talked about the score being like 75 billion or so, whatever. I play on the foul balls. We're not known as the strongest team during the spring or the fall league, but we do have fun out the bar, and these guys can attest to us going around and being social and laughing. But also, you want to learn from the mistakes that you made, and hopefully get together during your practice and work on some of the fundamentals that you have to make your team a little bit stronger. But like these guys said, you're new here. You got a bunch of new players. Learning kickball is a little bit different. It's not soccer. It's not baseball. But you kind of want to mix the both. You want to mix the both of those talents and just come up with a good strategy.
It's the inbred bastard child of those two sports.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But I'm going to echo what both of you said, then more directly what you said, having played for the foul balls in seasons past. I can definitely say we had some of these outcomes, close to a 15-0. But as the season went on, it gets better, it gets tighter. You figure out your team, you figure out the league, and so it'll get better. It'll come around. Just stick with it, man.
Absolutely.
That's all.
And we're all here to have fun. That's the key part. But losing 15-0, it's an eye opener for sure for your first game. So we need to work on as a team. Go out and do it.
I'm going to totally mess up everything about this podcast. Jump back to Mean Green Machine Summer School Kicks because I got some updates from the captains involved there. So we can get some actual
instant
information.
Updates. The old Adam Schefter of the kickball league right here.
Cregan from, of course, which one is he? Summer School Kicks.
Yeah.
Sorry. He says, MGM, solid team out there. He said Roger really stood out at catcher. That's
a given.
Shocking.
Given.
And he says about, well, we'll get to their game with the Flock of Flame, and then I've got I got sources. I got sources everywhere coming in every second. We saw a lot of quickness I'm hearing from the umpiring crew on that game. Just one error in the game, I'm sorry, we don't know what it was, but seemed to be the difference. And, that can often be the case, and I think will often be the case throughout the Summer League with teams, so close in skill and so tight on defense, I think everyone is. And George, Captain of Mean Green Machine, says, they fear the summer. He didn't use fear, naturally, but he said if there's a team that can give them a run for their money in the bowls, it'll be the Summer School Kicks. So a team they definitely respect and has a lot of talent as well. And so with that, we'll wrap up the 7 o'clock hour.